Welcome back to PSY-POD, the podcast about nothing, the podcast which your mom somewhat watches and your dad still doesn't know what's it about. But anyways, we're here. We bring local people to talk about local vibes, but sometimes we bring other people. And today we have the honor of bringing actually a very big guest, but we'll get into that in a bit. But we also mention that Nola's also back, so say hello, Nola.
Hello.
So, who do we have here? Please say hello to our local and international fans.
Hello, namaste. My name is Kiran Rao. I'm a filmmaker based out of Mumbai, Bombay, India.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
We'll get into
Good
all
enough?
that stuff.
Intro?
Yeah, that's it.
Intro is, yeah.
That's it. Anyways, with that being said, PSY-POD starts now, live from Junior Studios.
PSY-POD.
By the way, before we begin, today's episode is brought to you by Global Reach, Bhutan's first and most trusted education consultancy. Trusted since 2004, they've been sending Bhutanese kids abroad before it was cool. Global Reach has been doing this for more than 21 years. Yes, that means they've been doing it long before some of you all were even born. Probably in your past life, before even TikTok existed. Respect. Global Reach isn't about just getting you on a plane. It's about setting you on the right path. Their counselors are professionally certified, their guidance is transparent, and with direct connections with over 40 universities in Australia, you'll get real-time access to information, scholarships, and priority applications. Basically, they're your cheat code to studying abroad. Plus, they'll make the whole journey smoother with extra services like Australian bank account setup, overseas health insurance, and even air ticketing, all under one roof. And here's the big news. On September 13th, Global Reach is having a huge event for people seeking education in Australia called Australia Education Day, where 21 universities will be there in person at Global Reach's head office in Thimphu. So if you're a student or a parent sneaking in some research, well, this is your chance to ask questions directly about the courses, requirements, scholarships, and even the campus life. Doors open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. But heads up, you need to pre-register by September 12th. But don't worry, you can do that by scanning this QR right here, which will be here throughout the episode, or by visiting their social media pages. So if you're dreaming about Pecha in Perth, maybe even kangaroo selfies in Canberra or Brisbane, or even a Canadian snowboarding degree in winter, then maybe Global Reach just might be your first big step. You can visit them physically in Thimphu or Pinseling, or contact this number right here. Global Reach, a trusted name, a trusted brand. First in the game, and still your number one plug for sending Bhutanese students global. Now, back to the episode. Okay, all right. Before we begin, we have to give a shout out to DOMCIIP for helping us support this podcast with the hardware. And we also have to give a shout out to our lovely members, our pod heads. So, ma'am, if you can kindly look up, imagine they're floating in the sky. We'll do this in post. Look, they're all in the sky. Thank
Amazing.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, our pod heads. We appreciate you. And yeah. If you want to be a podhead, please check the link in the description or the join button if you're living abroad. And if you want to upgrade to a podhead pro like our podhead pro Doti, again, look up, another sentient being is floating above our heads. Thank you. Shout out to you. Yes, you can also upgrade to that. And also, before we begin, I would also like to say this is your first time watching, please consider subscribing. Most of our viewers are 40% are not subscribed. So please consider subscribing.
Keep it that way, guys.
No, all right. Okay, let's get into it. Nola, I want you to take the lead. So please ask ma'am her first question.
Sorry, ma'am. I've only had the honor of knowing you for a few hours.
Days, no? We met a couple of days ago.
Yes, but in between, just a few minutes.
That's
so
true.
it's like just a few hours. So I'm going in blind. So, yeah, how was life like growing up?
Okay, why not? Why not? Yes.
I've had a long life. So let me say, life was good actually growing up. I kind of grew up in a fairly middle-class family in Calcutta. My parents are from the south.
Okay.
So my dad had a job in Calcutta, and so we grew up there. And I don't know if you know India so well. It's in the east. I mean, Calcutta is actually not far south from here.
Yeah, actually, you can drive to Calcutta.
Yeah, exactly. So it used to be, I mean, it still is quite an incredible city. It was the capital of British India at one point before it all moved to Delhi. So it has a lot of colonial history. It's a city of like art and culture. People, really deeply sort of believe that like people are judged by how much they, sort of are into culture and literature and music, and money is not as big of a deal in Calcutta. So growing up, actually, it was very cool because it didn't matter which, how wealthy you were and, what you wore and things didn't count as much, at least back then. And I'm talking about, the Jurassic era. So it was kind of, a nice way to grow up, because once I came to Bombay, it was very different. It's a much faster city, a city of wealth and all the rest of it, and Delhi, where I did my master's. So yeah, growing up was fun. I had a really great time. I went to a very lovely school, all-girls school.
No. You mentioned that about the skirts, no?
Yeah.
On sports day.
The days in the week when we had sports, we could wear our skirts a little short, so we were really excited. And then on other days, we would fold them up when the nuns weren't looking. But yeah, by and large, it was a pretty, I think, charmed childhood. I have really happy memories of my childhood.
Okay.
And then I left and I came to Bombay when I did college in Bombay and my master's in Delhi.
Okay, then when was the, leap into the film industry?
So after my master's, I did my master's in mass communication from a really great institute, very sort of historic. It has a great legacy. It's called the Jamia Millia Islamia University, and they have a course called, a department called the Mass Communication Research Center. So they do a master's in mass communication. So 2 years of that. And then I think in doing the master's is when I kind of realized that I wanted to direct. Otherwise, I was quite keen on being a cinematographer. I used to like to shoot things a lot. And for some reason, I felt like actually taking the image is the storytelling. It's not so much so the physical act of doing it. And I still feel that is part of it. It gives you some sort of physical connection with what you're going to capture. But then, in college we had to write scripts, and my script got chosen to be made only 8 of us got to be the directors. And so I said, okay, whatever, I directed, and then I realized, okay, this is pretty cool. This is what I want to do.
Okay. And how about...
Then I came to Bombay.
Yeah.
And the struggle began.
So was your first project with Lagaan, or was it later on?
First... film project.
Okay.
So when I first came to Bombay, my family moved to Bangalore. I don't know anybody anybody in the film industry. I don't have any other family who's been in the film industry. So there was no one to kind of just land up and give me a break. So it's really funny. I wrote a letter because those were the days of faxes and letters.
Okay.
So I was like, who do I know? And I'm very notoriously bad with Hindi films. I didn't watch a lot. I still don't watch enough, honestly. I'm ashamed to say. So there was the only director that came to mind for some reason was Subhash Ghai. Have you guys heard of Subhash Ghai? He's a really big director, but he's now kind of retired.
Okay.
Doesn't make films anymore. So I wrote him a letter, dear Mr. Ghai, my name is Kiran Rao, and I just did my master's and come to Bombay, and I faxed it to Subhash Ghai's office. Of course, I didn't hear back, ever. And so I kind of luckily had a couple of friends who were ADs in the industry, who were seniors from college. And they said, look, I had to earn money because I had nowhere to stay. I was staying with an uncle. So my friends were like, listen, actually, if you want to be able to live in Bombay, I think you'll have to work in advertising because that's where you'll earn a lot more money. So I got a job in advertising very quickly, actually. It was great. And for a year and a half after I came, I was kind of shooting, working on ad films, doing everything, casting and costumes and everything. And that's it. Then, it was 1999. When you guys were not born. And I got a call from now a very well-known director. Her name is Reema Kagti. She called and said, there's this film that's being made about cricket in the desert in Bhuj. Do you want to be an AD? And I was like, sure. Okay, why not? And that kind of changed my life because that was the real film school experience, which no school can give you. It was really great. So 6 months on Lagaan, and the same year I worked on Monsoon Wedding by Meera Nair. So that was also a really incredible experience because, she's such a powerhouse director, and it was a really small crew. So we all got to do a lot of stuff. And the film is lovely as well. So I had a lot of experience in the year 2000. It kind of was like my birth in the film industry as an AD.
New millennium.
New millennium, the new world.
This is my
millennium, my century.
Indeed.
Okay,
Indeed. Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so ma'am, I'm curious to wonder, like, how was your first day on set was like for the movie Lagaan? Because you said it propelled you into that
Yeah.
space. So how was that like?
It was very, very cool. You know, I had never in advertising. You work obviously in 2 day shoots, and we actually went on our first day. We went first. It was the day after the new millennium, or 2 days, the 2nd or 3rd of January of 2000, and you had to take an overnight train. It was Bhuj, it's in Gujarat, and we reached there, and then we had to go to set. And set, so Bhuj itself is now it's a big city, but it was a kind of a small town with a fortress, and beautiful town. And we had to take a bus to get to the village where they had made a set of a village. And I'll never forget that day, because there was a whole bunch it was a very mixed crew, lots of international crew, international actors. And on that bus, I met Amir, the producer, and the actor for the first time. And he came around and he said hello on the bus. And we were like, oh, this is pretty cool. No starry behavior. We all drove to set. And I was given the job of like making a detailed list of every property in every house on the set. Like, okay, brass tumbler large, brass tumbler small, because it was supposed to be set in the 1800s.
Okay.
And I was like, this doesn't feel like I'm doing some very
Filmmaking
critical,
stuff.
important cinematic work. But as the days obviously began and shoot actually began, it was a very sharp learning curve. I was given the job. I was a second, what's called a second AD. So you're in charge of the cast. And on Lagaan, we had like a huge cast. We had like the whole cricket teams of England, we had the cricket team of India, we had the whole village, and there were at least at least 70 or 80 speaking parts, which is a lot for any film. And I had to get them into wigs and these whatever Victorian style dresses and lots of facial hair, and everybody hated me because I'd be like, hurry up, you have to get set. And but it was it really, I got thrown in the deep end. Just about survived. No, I genuinely made some of my best friends there, and it was a great time.
So how was life after? We've seen pre-Lagaan. How was life post-Lagaan?
Post-Lagaan.
And post-monsoon wedding, post-Dil Chahta Hai. How was that life?
It was great because I kind of got jobs very easily after that. I was like, oh, she worked on Lagaan and Monsoon Wedding. So I suddenly became like a very sought-after first AD. I did a lot of first AD work on films and mostly advertising because I needed to earn my money. So I made a decent life for myself in Bombay. I was able to, kind of rent my own apartment, have my own car, generally have quite a good life until I then joined Amir Khan Productions. That's when I started seeing Amir, and we started working on Tare Zameen Par, which was the film that Amir directed in 2006. So till then I was just doing AD jobs. I did a film called Swades. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Shah Rukh Khan's in it. It's also by the same director of Lagaan. I did another IMAX film for some other thing. Did a lot of advertising. And I was trying to write my own film, which was Dhobi Ghat. I only wrote it though in 2005, 4 or 5.
Okay. All right, Nola. Anything else?
Okay, so madam, now when did you decide okay, I'm gonna direct my own movie?
Now it's the time.
How was the spark? Okay.
Bro, it's back then filmmaking wasn't obviously so easy. It was so expensive. You had to have a bound script. You wanted to go to whoever could finance it. So I spent a lot of years just trying to get my story right. I had this idea of a film that was kind of diaryistic, lots of different impressions of Bombay. I felt it was the right kind of film for me to make as my first film. It really also felt like I was, I was going to be able to make it authentic and have my own voice rather than try and write a, sort of like a plotty script. So this has been my life. I just keep writing. I have so many story ideas, scripts of different sizes and lengths, but I don't get to make all of them. So Laapataa Ladies, for instance, I didn't write. It was written by Sneha Desai, who worked on the screenplay of another writer called Biplab Goswami, who wrote the original story. So writing has been the big challenge. So I did decide that I want to make a film and I want to make it like tomorrow, but it doesn't happen. And getting the script right took me a while. Luckily, when I wrote the story and I kind of narrated it to Amir, he liked it a lot and he was like, I want to make it. So it's like, yay, and all that. And that's when it happened. But it took a couple of years after that because we were producing that. Plus, I don't know if you know, Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na. And then we were also doing prep on Peoply Live. So there are lots of other films that I was working on as a producer. I knew I wanted to direct, but it's something that's come harder to me than everything else, because I guess I kind of entered in that from the production side, and it's and that gives me a lot of joy as well, working with other directors and producers. So that was fun, but I think I did a lot, almost too much of that.
Maybe you were thinking, if I need to do it, I need to do it properly. So
yeah, it's a bit like, what's the word for it? There's don't let a great get in the way of good. And I always let great get in the way of good. It's my downfall.
But that's relatable for, I think, any kind of like art-related work, like, do this, like, no, it's not good.
Yeah, and then
because of this, you compromise on all of that.
Yeah.
I think we can get that.
In fact, it's something to do. I feel it like when I draw on paper and when I draw on an iPad. On the iPad, I'm just like constantly undo. Use an eraser and like get it right, and it's never quite the same. It just
looks
different. Like shit, honestly, according to me. But yeah, that's what's been happening with me.
Okay. You want to go?
Okay, I can ask. Since you mentioned that you didn't grow up with a lot of Bollywood influences, I'm curious to know, what did you grow up watching?
Yeah.
Whose works were you like, wow?
I, oddly enough, because I grew up at a time when films, what we got on television was in fact actually quite curated, because you couldn't, like, there was one channel and we watched what came on that channel. There was no choice. And we used to watch a lot of, honestly, there was really good stuff in those days on TV. A lot of East European cinema and good old Bengali films, of course, Ray and Ghatak and all the greats. So, and then you saw the kind of good Hindi films as well, like, whatever, Sholay, Anand, those kind of the big ones that kind of were deemed okay for TV, not trashy ones. So I watched a lot of that, but my influences are more, I'd like to say, literature and music, and I listened to a lot of music growing up. Also dance. I mean, I think I came to film much later than most people. I used to like photographs a lot and painting and all the other art forms I kind of knew better than the moving image. It's like I would watch films, but it wasn't like I would look at them and be like, I want to make films. It wasn't that at all. I used to love to act. So theatre was something that I'm still I find super exciting. And on some level, I keep feeling like maybe I'd love to direct a play. But yeah, so those were my influences. If I had to say what I grew up watching, I would say that there was lots of great Indian shows also. We had a show back when I was really little called Hum Log. It means us people, us. And we had a show called Nukkad, which means neighborhood. We had a show which Shah Rukh was in called Circus, and he was in another show called Fauji. I just totally fell in love with him. He was in the army, and those kind of like I guess those were also something that in some way I really remember. They had a lot of heart, a lot of like humor and stuff like that. The art house stuff came much more when I went to film school. And through college, I was in a hostel. I never got to watch anything. So honestly, my influences have just been much more photographs and and music and poetry and shit like that.
Okay. Are you familiar with Letterboxd, ma'am?
Yeah.
So what is your Letterboxd for?
Letterboxd 4, okay.
What is it for? It can be anything, like on top of your head. Doesn't have to be all time.
No, not all time. Yeah, so one of my favorite films is Parasite. I really like it a lot. What am I Letterboxd 4? That's tricky.
It can be a series as well, yeah.
I mean, if I had to really take films across time, there's most of Ray I absolutely love, but there's one called Jalsha Ghor, and Charulata. It's totally one of my top 4. Charulata, I don't know if you guys have seen. It's one of his most incredible films.
I wanted to watch this.
You must see it.
I'm planning to watch it.
You have to see it.
Okay.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, I think it's one of the most complex, interesting women characters on film, and the way Ray does it is just like so fine. It's beautiful. I like, for some reason, it stays in my head is Nights of Cabiria by Fellini. It's also a lovely film. Giulietta Messina in it is, like a sex worker, and she's just outstanding in it. And then I like a lot of funny films. There's an incredible Indian film called Jaane Bhi Do Yaro. Have you heard of it?
Sorry,
It's brilliant. It's a satire, and you got to see that. So anyway, those are my top 4.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Okay, before Nora, you can get to your question, I want to ask this thing, which actually now I only remember of asking, because I had to have a conversation in the car about the little bit dynamics between, the misogyny here and there, which you see, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But Laapataa Ladies is a story about women empowerment and you being a female director. We don't see many, obviously, unfortunate to say, many females in that position of being the director of the film project. So you think there's a dynamic shift, or is it different when there's a woman at the helm in the film project?
I do think there is, I don't think it's always the case, but I feel this about most I would say most parts of life in any department, like not even just in film or I'm saying in politics, it could be in healthcare, it could be in any sphere at all.
Sure.
I feel like when women are equally represented, the conversation changes slightly. And I think that's kind of essential. Because we've seen where we've got with all men in control, right? Look at us. Look at the world the way it is. It needs some more women in positions of power, positions that are decision making. I think I don't know. I feel like people say, women making women's films. I don't think that that's the only way forward. Of course, we want more women making women's films or just women making films. But I do think that it's important to get like men into this space of conversation, because I do think it's not obvious for men what maybe women want or how they would like also to be represented. And sometimes it just needs to have both people in that conversation. So, it can't be exclusionary, and it can't be just like only women making women's films and men making whatever the hell they want, But I do think it changes. Especially I feel like, say, a film like Laapataa Ladies, and I honestly think, if you read the script, it's written obviously quite, blatantly to try and talk about issues that women go through. But at the same time, it's a very commercial, like funny script. And I think made by a man, it could have been equally well done. It's just that I think women automatically bring a certain perspective of their lived experience into what they do. So it changes it slightly, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Noli, you wanted to ask something about how a man puts people in characters. You talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, but I wanted to mention, like what you just mentioned here, you said that. I think it is really important, and it's kudos to you guys, people in that sphere, women directors. I'm going to do it, because there's a difference when there's a lot of male dominated space, right? So there's men, mostly they're the writers. So when men write women characters, it's different. No? So how women write women, it's kind of different. So you
we were just
exactly
talking
know
about
that
this.
nuance. So kudos to you for on the film, because I really enjoyed the movie. All the characters had their quirks, their arcs, their plot lines. It was a beautiful movie.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you. We were just talking actually about this, and I think it doesn't automatically occur to men. That, a woman's arc can be a little more shaded, more nuanced. Give her some depth. Give her like some, give her an equal amount of, what do you call it? Like as a character, let her have as much struggle or as much, make her as interesting as you would make a male character. I mean, it doesn't have to be just like that one line explanation of who she is, and that's it's great. That's good enough. Yeah, something. And I don't think the films need to necessarily. I mean, I think all films can be in a quote unquote feminist films, like films that represent women in a nice, complex way are feminist films. I mean, they could have all the male characters in the center. That's not a problem. It's just, I think people are lazy about it, almost. It's a laziness, and it comes from a certain generation of people when men kind of did not think they needed to do anything else. And especially in a country like India, where, of course, we are half the population. It's just that it's the half of the population that never gets their due, even in terms of wages. We're paid less. You're not paid for the work that you do at home. So it's very easy to just be like, okay, we know all the people coming to the cinema are men. So let's just make a really pretty girl there, give her 2-line background. That's it. That's good enough for most things. I mean, we'll give her a little bit of something. And I think that's just lazy. It's just lazy.
But yeah, I think
because don't you want more women interested in your films? Don't you want women to feel seen?
Yeah.
Cool
it's also.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. So come on, you guys. You're the new generation filmmakers.
I just realized one thing. Sometimes, even if you write a very strong female character, she has a good arc, but then it's mostly she's very good. I think another interesting aspect is if she can have flaws. No,
yeah,
she can be a shitty person,
exactly.
but she can have a redemption arc.
She can have humble beginnings.
Yeah, make her interesting. Give her some make her flaws. The thing is also what men love to see is. Women who are soft and compassionate and suffering. I mean, that's the broad kind of basic way of looking at a woman, that she's beautiful and she's suffering, but she's happy to take the suffering because she's a nurturer and she gives all compassion and love to. And it's bollocks, really. I mean, you need to include women who are strong, include women who are flawed, who are fragile, who are messed up. I mean, come on, let's represent them in the same way you would your male characters.
Like your chaiwala auntie.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
I love the chaiwala.
That character wasn't there in the original script. And when Sneha and I were discussing, I was like, we were talking about what we wanted to change. So in the original story, the girl goes to a railway station where there is a lady, and she's an old lady who's running the tea shop, but she has a husband, and they're a very sweet couple who take her into their, give her shelter and all that. And I was like, we've seen enough of the nice old couple and we've got lots of the other stuff. Let's have a woman who actually, lives on her own. Let's show that is not just possible, it is the case for many, many, many women across the world who actually do all the hard work. They are the ones who earn the living. They're the ones who get beaten up. They're the ones who raise the family. Where are they? They don't get seen very much. And then if they're seen, they're the ones who are crying because they're beaten up. And they're not the kind who just slap the shit out of the husband and be like, okay, you get out. I'm going to live on my own.
Okay.
And I felt like that would be Sneha wrote the character and she wrote her fantastically, but it came from the instinct that, I felt the need to represent a single woman in the story. So yeah, I like her a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I love her.
She's such a cool character.
Yeah. No, I wanted to ask about the police actor or something. To tone him down or something like that.
Yeah, you were mentioning that on set, the actor, he had acted in plethora of movies.
700 plus movies,
So you had to, the type of humor he knew was different for the take you were going for. So how did you bring him to...
he's a very, very fine actor, because you can imagine if you've done 700 films, you really have command over your craft. So it didn't take a lot. I mean, it did need from time to time to be, to kind of balance the fact that everybody else was kind of in much younger, fresher talent who didn't have a particular style. And so we wanted him to kind of be like that, kind of lose. He's a big guy. He's a big personality, even in person. And on film, he's an incredible actor. And comes like that, with that personality. In fact, he's great at ad-libbing. He extempore, he'll just do great lines. And so I had, one of the things was to work with him to say that these lines are are like what we want. And of course, he was the only actor whose ad libs we actually kept because they were so funny. But to be able to tell him, that he just had to do the littlest thing because he's actually really powerful as an actor, and he was very, very good like that. He kind of got it quite quickly, and there were times when he's the kind like you can use a dial. You can just say like down.
Oh, okay.
You'd keep whatever goes up. Him and Manjumai are both actors like that. It's great to have actors who have so much command that you can just like with a little bit of kind of suggestion they change.
Okay, so can I ask something? Since when you read the script, when you go through the story, when you know the characters, there's a different person you're imagining. So what was the casting like? Like when you saw that person, okay, this person might be this character. So how was the casting process like for you?
Yeah. It's a very interesting thing, actually, this casting process, because you're right. On paper, you can imagine just about anything, and then you have like a human there who has a face and has a particular way of like delivering dialogue. So, I mean, most directors will almost never just look at a photograph because I don't cast for just the looks. What we did do was send certain 2 scenes for each character and then watch the scenes. And actually, scenes give you, even if the actor is not doing them the way you want it, like their emphasis is wrong, they're doing it over, whatever, it gives you a sense of what that person can do. And then you can think of calling them for a callback. So the 2 actors that I saw the very first test of, and I was like, we're done, we've got them, is the little girl Phool.
Okay.
She was just incredible. And Sparsh, who plays Deepak, unbelievable. Both of them actually had, you can, when you see the screen test, they have some, there's I hate to say it, but it's almost like some of the spirit of the character. Like you can see the naivety instinctively. You can see why, like face-wise, this person looks she was also very young, Phool. So you wanted someone young, but someone who also had curiosity, who also could be scared, and all of the rest of it. And of course, Deepak, who had to play slightly dumb. I mean, it was a very hard character to play. And I think his first test was so good. I was like, if it was on location, I would just print this take. It's just so good. So the casting process actually happened during COVID, weirdly. So we were watching all these tapes in my studio, and we came across these actors. The girl who played Jaya, who is the girl who wants to study, her test came in very late. I was almost like, oh my God, are we going to get a girl to shoot with, And hers was a trickier character because she's playing, she's acting. You can tell there's something up. She's telling lies, but at the same time, you don't want her to be like negative. You want people to be like curious, and you want her to be mysterious in a good way, So. So she had a bit of that face, which is kind of a chameleon, honestly. If you look at Pratibha otherwise, she looks quite different than she looks in the film. She's able to change her personality very well. And that was really good. I had a great casting director called Romil. He, luckily for me, I mean, the biggest... I think the only way I could have made that film was with the producer, Amir, saying that you can cast anybody that you want. I don't think any other producer would have done that. Everybody's always thinking about stardom and everything else. And he was just like, cast whoever's right for the role. And
I was mentioning, like you mentioned that you saw something in the 2 leads, no? The chemistry. And I think, I'm sorry, but I watched the movie last year. So I think the film opens with them saying that they love each other, like confessing, something like. So you already established that through their acting and also with the handheld shots, it's really intimate. So I think that's a really good opening shot, and because of their acting, it really builds the movie as well. And right in the beginning, I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. You know what was cool though? When we were doing that opening shot, we were actually in one of the most beautiful, tiny villages that we were shooting in. I cannot explain to you how cute it was. And we had a whole lot of other stuff which is cut out. I can't tell you how much of this film is not in the film. I cut it out on the edit table. But the when we were doing the cultural part, like all this, wedding, this, that, the film was originally meant to be in Bihar, set in Bihar. But we finally decided, while I was doing the prep, I was like, honestly, I don't want to make it about Bihar, because then everybody will think that, this happens in Bihar. It
must be like that.
It must be like that in Bihar, Whereas this idea of the veil and, the way, the things that women go through is pretty universal. It has nothing to do with just Bihar. So we created our own state. And we created our own little rituals.
Oh.
So we borrowed something from here, something from there, and kind of made it a little bit more generalized for Central India so that it would be relatable for anyone. And I wouldn't be accused of being inauthentic and, this doesn't happen in Bihar or this doesn't happen in MP. So, because you told me that opening shot was, they talk about that little pouch of things that you tie into the... It's actually rice and some grass, durva grass, and some betel nut or something, which is tied and for as a shagun or whatever. It's like for your safekeeping to have, like, to keep your husband safe. Actually, it's also like about fertility and so how the idea of that little thing that it's called a khoicha, which she ties into the corner of her aunt ties it in that first scene, in the first shot, first scene. And later she ties her money there in the very same place, which is for me, was like the biggest thing I feel that women really need to see, is that you need to be earning your own money and being economically independent. So that was a cool thing to be able to tie in with a little bit of that cultural significance, that cultural little thing.
Okay. Ma'am, just a personal question. Do you think, like, some people may have a different measurement of success, like maybe like one woman who says success is going out earning my own money, being a boss bitch, but maybe you could also be being a housewife. So do you think that's equally as noble, or do you think
you've seen the film?
Yeah. So
in the film, one character chooses to
be a housewife,
be at home and do her own thing.
Okay.
So the thing with what I so in fact, I think it's absolutely not just successful, but like noble to be bringing up a family. People don't respect it enough, and honestly, women bringing up their family should be paid. Do you know how much work they do to send you out, bring you up, give you your, whatever, food in the morning, your clothes, it's a job. And it's a job. So people look at it as, just staying at home. It's not that. Even if you're not physically doing everything, running a house is a job in itself, and someone has to do it. It's just that women are never paid for it. So the reason I emphasize financial independence is that women end up having to tolerate a lot of abuse and having to tolerate completely sort of unhappy circumstances because they don't have options. They can't leave.
They're very dependent on
They're very dependent, and then they're dependent to go back to their parents or somebody, and it shouldn't be the case. Women should have the courage and the financial independence to be able to leave any situation that they're not comfortable in, is what I feel. And it also gives them a sense of self-confidence, a self sort of I don't know, it's about also what you feel about yourself. It gives you, what's the word for it, when you the way you view yourself.
Self-value?
Yeah.
Importance.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, that's what I feel. But of course, bringing up a family is just like...
Yeah, it's the
real stuff.
The biggest unpaid job ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shout out to all mothers.
We work with a non-profit in farming. We have a non-profit in Maharashtra, and we work with a lot of farmer groups, and a lot of our farmer groups are all women. And it's the first time women are able, because all of them are agricultural laborers, but they never have the decision-making responsibility to decide what is being grown, how do we market it, what do we do. So now when they come in and they make their all women groups, you have to see how they flower, and they're doing much better than the men, often, because they're really dedicated, they're really into the job, and and most of the time they just labor for the husband who will go out, sell the stuff and keep the money, right? So it's about being able to being valued for actually the value that you create, which you do.
Is this the non-profit, the Pani Foundation?
Yes, Pani Foundation.
So I thought Pani Foundation, when I looked it up a little bit, what about support, like giving water to all the villages or something like that?
It started, the idea was to work in watershed management to make people self-sufficient, like water, in terms of like their own water, security. So you kind of, we taught villages how to do watershed management, and it was really, really successful because people changed their own realities, because once you have water, it's great for livelihood, it's great for health, everything. Women had to otherwise go walking for kilometers to collect water. So once 5 of them. Yeah. But once they did that, we realized that, that's there, that knowledge is out there. We've created a whole, online, there's all the resources you would need anywhere in the world if you want to do watershed management. It was actually well documented. And so we wanted to move to the next stage, because once people have water, they still ultimately end up doing, sort of engaging in agriculture that isn't profitable for whatever reason. So that water is not ending up actually helping their livelihood. So we kind of pivoted and started looking at why the agricultural sector is so unprofitable, especially for small holding farmers who have smaller holdings. And then we did a lot of research, and then now we work in sustainable agriculture, where the goal is really for agriculturists or farmers to be able to make great profit, but also make it ecologically viable and, kind of pesticide and chemical-free farming. So, and it's been amazing because, again, like water, it kind of proves that if people come together, they can pretty much solve any issue or crisis, because in that coming together, there is a strength in numbers, whether it comes to input costs, whether it's like sort of taking decisions collectively about, like as a community about something. And most of our problems come because, people have to work all alone and they have to bear that burden all alone. So this really gives them a lot of strength. It's a lot of power also, because then as farmers, they can invest, they can become like companies when they become groups. So it's a very, very, very cool what we're doing now, actually. I'm deeply involved with it. That's why actually my character, I made a farmer.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the farmers.
So in fact, that Jaya, when she tells her father-in-law, but Deepak's father, that, you can do these things and you won't have to add, pesticide. It's something that we teach in part of what we are doing now.
Okay. All right. No, I want to segue a little bit because we don't have much time to talk about MEMS in Bhutan. No, so I want to talk about MEM was here for 10 days prior to the festival. Yeah, so MEM is here for Bhutan Echoes. So she was exploring Bhutan here and there. So do you have any questions about her MEM in Bhutan?
So how's it like?
How was the experience? And let's just start from
It's been great. It's been just amazing. I mean, honestly, I've always had this like impression of Bhutan. Everyone's like, it's so beautiful. Everyone's really happy and it's all cool. And it was that.
Oh,
really, I've come here. I've met a lot of very cool people.
Good, thank you.
I have genuinely eaten and drunk and had a really great time. We went, so my son and friend were with me when we first came. We came more than a week ago. And we went with a lovely tour company called Journey to the South. They took us to Punakha and then to Gante Valley, which is really gorgeous. And we just absolutely loved it. And I have to go back there for the black-necked cranes. And then I'm an amateur birder. I love birds. So I went everywhere with my binoculars and I had lots of new sightings and I was damn happy. And then we went to Paro and I did taksang. And it's been amazing. I like spicy food. So the food's been pretty epic. I've tried Ara. I've done all the good, cool.
All the things, all the check boxes have been checked.
Mostly, and I got a tattoo today. So.
Today has been a crazy day just to give people a hindsight. Today I met Ma'am. She wanted to try matsutake mushroom, so we went to buy it in a farmer's market. Then we had to look for someone to cook it. So then Nola was saying he was in Paradise Kitchen. Shout out to them. So we get Tomza. So we went there and asked them kindly. Ma'am was like, no, don't ask them. I said, no, wait, I'll just bother them just for a little bit. I said, one mushroom. Just Just make. Ma'am wants to try. I said, you want to? Okay. And then
very sweetly made it. It was yum.
It's a taste. So go to eat in Paradise Kitchen. They're very accommodating.
So we had steak mushrooms.
And then ma'am was like saying like she wants a tattoo since yesterday, and I wasn't thinking she was serious, but then today again she reminded me, and I called up my tattoo artist. Shout out to Legden Tattooer. So we literally just came back from Ming, and then we got the tattoo. And if ma'am was going to allow, here's the picture. You see?
Yeah.
Look, we got a naked crane on the back of Kiran Rao. Okay, so that was interesting. And now we're here doing the pod. Yeah, now we're doing the pod. So it's been an eventful day and also an eventful trip.
Day, yeah.
So what's next? Yeah, we have the dinner. Right?
My flight back to Delhi.
Okay, yeah. But like, what are some like things you'll take back from Bhutan? At least something like, like in Bhutan, like maybe the landscape will come.
One is the uninterrupted forest. I don't think I'll ever forget it, especially the beautiful mixed forest, which I would love to come in spring and see all the rhododendrons, the different kinds of rhododendron. Beautiful oak and cedar, cypress, larch spruce, like dense jungle. That's been amazing. That's like number one for me. I also got to see a peak. It peaked out at Dochula. I saw Masagang, this peak, which was epic. Next time I'm 100% going where there are peaks. I want to go to that side. I'm saying Bomdila. I'm saying instead of like what's that? Bochu no. But
is it a mountain?
Listen, no, the district.
Bumdiling or something.
Bumtang. That's Switzerland.
Yeah. I'm going to go to Bumtang. I'm going to go to eastern Bhutan next.
Okay.
So lots of lovely birds. I've seen like 4 or 5 new birds that I hadn't seen before. Small guys, very tiny chaps. Then what else have I done? I went to see the weaving, which is just gorgeous, but I couldn't afford to buy anything.
Did you buy any kiras?
No.
Hey, maybe you can buy those in the stores in the city, the ready-made ones.
Yeah,
as a souvenir.
I mean, I think I have a kira. I'm weirdly trying to remember. Just like a lovely one which I've never worn. Anyway, that jacket thing I like. The women wear.
Oh, Tego, yeah.
Tego. I should get one of those. Anyway, what else? I saw an artist actually painting a tanka. I've like had lots of. I went to Gangte Gompa on the day of, which is a festive day of Buddha's first sermon day.
Oh yeah, Trupseji.
Yeah, so it was really lovely because everybody was there and dressed up, and I think Gangte, like that town, was just amazing. I just fell in love with it. It's just so cute. And then that's it. I mean, and the roads were really great. I just genuinely had a lovely time.
Okay. Do you think you'll ever, if you ever do a film project, you'd ever consider shooting in Bhutan? I
mean, I absolutely would. In fact, there's a project that I'm currently working on, which is set in a mountain. But I feel like Bhutan's almost too beautiful and perfect. I don't know how I'd do it here. Because I'm supposed to show like the devastation of development.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's
maybe it could be like a flashback. Yeah. Everything was okay.
Yeah, paradise. Cut to. But I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to.
Speaking of actually, ma'am, we spoke about this a little bit in the car. So we're talking about like what are some difficult things to shoot, and ma'am was saying like love scenes are very difficult.
Yeah.
Because you need something called intimacy coordinator. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, can you just give us a little taste of like how does like a scene like that, like how do you prep for it? How's the production?
It's really hard, honestly, because intimacy coordinators make it easier because like to stand there and tell people, no, put your hand higher, lower.
On a thigh, grab a thigh, grab it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like literally, and I'm really bad at it. I've realized it's like you have experts almost like for action and dance, like the way we had that. Like I think intimacy, it's best done by intimacy coordinators because genuinely, like it's you do a lot of prep. There's a lot of stuff that the actors wear, which makes them comfortable to be even doing any of it, and you make. On the day, you obviously make set a very comfortable place. So it should be 8 people or less on a set. So you lock the camera. Everybody leaves. It's very, because, unless your film is entirely like very only about the intimacy, you're just genuinely picking up little bits. And when you're picking up little bits, you're really tight. And then when you're on a long lens and you're on some part of the body and you have to have a hand go, it's really kind of almost uncomfortable to say left, right, up, down, It's kind of, I find it not so exciting. It's actually technical. It's really, really technical, You want to get this highlight here. You want like a kiss to happen in this way, and the light has to come like that. And, and there's like you're losing light. There's a sun behind you,
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, turn your head this way, turn your head that,
So what does the intimacy coordinator actually do?
They actually run the shot on the day. Because you kind of, you have I wouldn't say shot breakdown, but you do roughly plan every shot. You know what you roughly want, especially if it's a long sequence. So how you're going to break it up into scenes, shots, especially if it's across different locations. And then the intimacy coordinator is the one who actually places the actors. Sometimes the intimacy coordinator and their assistants actually do the shot for you while you're framing up, so that the actors don't have to stand and because when you're framing up, two people have to be there for you to get how close are you going to be, where's the light going to be, etc. So it helps for the actors as well, They have intimacy coordinators have assistants who will do that. It's almost like when you're doing a dance sequence, the actors are not going to keep doing the action or the choreography.
Okay. All right. Any follow-up questions you got?
I think it might be something different, but it's back to the previous question. So you're mentioning about women characters. 2 women characters I really enjoyed when I was growing up was Ripley from Alien. She was really badass. Who cares? I'm gonna kill those aliens. No,
sure.
And the second one was Sarah Connor from Terminator. She was also badass.
Yeah.
So noticing ma'am has R2D2, I think you're really interested into sci-fi and all.
Yeah.
So,
more sci-fi, I have to say science fiction writing than the films. I don't watch enough, I think. I'm a bit queasy when it comes to violence. Violence, I've become much better. I can see a lot more guns and slaughter and people getting injured. It used to bother me a lot. But worlds are very exciting. And that's why, of course, Star Wars was, growing up, it was a really big influence. I like to read science fiction a lot. I know it sounds boring, but I kind of which is why now this next film I'm kind of doing something that
science fiction.
It's supernatural-ish, and it's for me a big change because I've been so accustomed to doing straight up drama, and then just sort of visualizing. And I think a bunch of people who've always watched, say, these kind of alien type movies or a lot of anime, it's much easier for you to kind of think of things quite like that. But for me, I come from a very drama space. I've never really worked on a film which was either even action. So it's a kind of a big
uncharted waters.
Yeah, it's a big jump for me. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, but
I'm a little nervous.
I'm really excited to see ma'am's take on it, because I'm sure there'll be a very powerful female character.
What kind of sci-fi books?
A badass killer. Yeah.
What kind of sci-fi books did you read?
They are by, my favorite author is an author called Ursula Le Guin. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a Canadian writer. She's now passed away, but she wrote I think it was literally the father of most of these wizard mage kind of books. A series called the Earthsea trilogy.
Earthsea, okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Each book is not very long, and it's a trilogy in 4 parts. Actually, it's 4 parts, and her writings were very, very kind of conceptual and very, very cool, like The Left Hand of Darkness and cool books like that. Who else? Day of the Triffids. All these old writers, I feel like I don't know the newer ones as much, like Songs of Ice and Fire and all those. I've not really, Fire and Ice, whatever. I've not really read all of that in the recent years.
What about Tolkien, ma'am?
Huh?
What about Tolkien?
Tolkien, oh my God. really influenced me when I was growing up. My God.
He doesn't like.
He's, no. I don't. It's not like I don't like.
doesn't like
I'm
Lord of
not
the
that
Rings.
fond. Nola is a huge Lord of the Rings fan. That's why I was.
Oh my God, the books are outstanding.
Yes.
You can't not like them.
But I've never even like touched a page, so I cannot judge.
The world
I
building,
watched
man. Each
World
character
building,
has
the
so
language.
much
I mean, oh my God, it's
backstory, no?
so much backstory. Each species has a language, and Tolkien was a linguist.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
So it was gorgeous to read. I mean, it just took you in a time when you could actually imagine these worlds. It was very cool. Yeah, I mean Tolkien for sure.
Okay.
I never actually read the. I think I might have read one of these Harry Potter series. I must have read one
Okay.
at most.
Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer Harry than Sam and Frodo.
But you've not read Sam and Frodo. How can you prefer it?
I've read little bit. Sorcerer's Stone, little bit. Other than that, no, not much. I'll be honest.
Even I've only read Sorcerer's Stone.
Little bit only.
I read the back. Or your 5-minute fake catch-up.
Yeah, maybe on like Gemini. Please explain this movie in 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Boy almost dies, takes over school, and gets 2 friends. One
He
is
was
one
telling
is
me
ginger.
about how he catches up on series.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's like watches a 5-minute recap of a whole season.
Yeah. That's like sometimes
See,
it's
that's like
cramming.
the truth now is coming out.
Because FOMO. No, man, you mentioned about FOMO. You don't want to miss out.
So I'd rather
This is
watch
true.
it quick than.
Rather watch it quick than not watch
Than
it.
watch
Yeah.
it,
So
yeah.
if I had to choose it, I don't have time to commit
See,
8 hours to a
exactly.
series, so I'll just commit 8 minutes.
Yeah, but there's that dedication that I like want to be on top of it.
Yeah.
That don't want to miss out.
Okay. Is there like something you want to consume, like which is in the back of your mind? Like right now, like I think everyone's busy.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Like I told you, I mean, I've not seen a lot of the things that everybody's oohing and eyeing about. Like
How about Squid Game? Squid Game watched?
Not watched.
Not even watched Squid Game.
no.
Okay.
I've not seen. I mean, I watch a lot of K-dramas. though.
Yeah, man, you
I
told us
enjoy
about K-drama.
them. Yeah, I haven't seen more than a couple of episodes of Succession, which I'm told is amazing. A couple of episodes of White Lotus, which is
Oh,
also
yeah.
supposed to be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I find series difficult. I think this 5-minute thing is a great idea. I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I might actually.
Yes, Siri, give me the 5 minutes explained version of Succession.
Yeah.
Like, I did that for what was the show called? It was called Severance. Have you heard of Severance?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
actually.
so I didn't have time. So
Yeah,
wow, I was like,
exactly.
oh, that's a great show. I shit 5 minutes over. It was gone. Okay, okay. Let's ask a few more questions, then we can wrap it up. Nola, up to you. What do you want to ask? Okay, well, we give Ma'am an opportunity. Yeah. This is a podcast, so we don't actually. We always want to interview you and
Okay.
interrogate you. If you have anything to ask us about us being whatever we are.
What are you people's sort of favorite kinds of films to kind of watch? What would you like to kind of be able to make?
Science fiction.
Science fiction.
I love sci-fi. Sci-fi.
SF.
SF. Oh yeah, SF.
Oh, now
yeah.
it's called. Now it's called. What is it called? It's called something else. Like. Anyway, speculative fiction.
Wow, speculative. Whoa,
Something
new.
like that. Yeah.
First time hearing that.
Some weird thing like that. It's become.
Okay.
What about yours?
I'm not sure about the genre, but if it's a good story, then it's okay.
Then don't-
Then it's.
He's always playing it safe. He's always playing it safe.
I'm okay with anything. I like sci-fi, regular stuff.
Yeah.
Anything, no?
And
Anything
do you
always-
guys like to write?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
kind of things do you automatically feel like writing? That'll give you a sense.
What about you? I like writing silly jokes. So I like putting that in dialogue. Like, I love puns. I'm not sure you noticed, but I love a good dad joke, and I like adding them as much as you can. For instance, we had a short film last year which we did called The Time Traveling Go, and then I put a line where the dad says like, "Why don't you give it a go?" Like super stuff like that. I love it. A dad giving a dad joke.
Done.
It's a joke itself.
Absolute cinema.
Cinema. Okay. What about you, Nola? What do you like to write, man?
Like, if I think of a character, like, then I'll go into a story. Like, how did he come to be like this? Then I have to think of. Then I'll imagine my own. Okay, he has this. Then I'll like, why is this way? Then I'll go in the own tangent. And that's how I spend most of my days.
So world building around the
Oh, yeah.
character. Yeah.
Just like to
Typical
imagine.
token fan.
Just like
Typical.
Tolkien fan.
Well, so we have audience today. You want any questions to ask? I'm sure.
Yay,
Because we're all
hi.
somewhat in the field.
I just found you helped produce Dangal.
I was a producer on
I
Dangal.
love
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, I love
I
wrestling.
love wrestling. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Indian film, it's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Say that.
That's it. Okay.
So
Follow.
I want to ask you a question, but I think after.
No, you can just ask right now, so ma'am can answer.
Because we're working on
A film. Yeah, I've given a touch on what our idea is, but then we can talk about that later. Yeah.
to get
Give ma'am her flowers. What about you kids? And I'm sure you want to ask something. Huh? Huh?
I was just curious, since your movie, big fan of Laapataa Ladies, since it deals a lot with social change and the messaging of it, and I read how the team was trying to show it in a lot of different cities and maybe schools and all these community centers, so it's very social change themed. Then also your Pani Foundation, you work there with more like rural livelihoods, water scarcity issues. So I guess the question is like, do you go into these projects with the hope to bring about some kind of impact? And like, what are the sort of core ingredients, even if it's very different formats?
Yeah, so, I think while at least me and I think Amir both have like a strong bent towards doing something that we feel is socially relevant and can kind of open up a conversation on something, we don't start writing with that idea. But if an idea comes to you, like Laapataa Ladies was a script that came to us, it was called Two Brides, and it was a vehicle for everything that I wanted to say, So when you have that, then you really you think of all the things that you want to kind of bring to it without it being a series of sort of lectures or, messaging. So I think that kind of is, especially when it comes to film, stories like that do attract me. And I do feel like anything that I make, I feel anyway, filmmakers have that opportunity to do it. So why not be a little bit more mindful of what you're talking about, and like being able to include some things that you're passionate about in the story as well. So I think that comes naturally, and I do kind of veer towards stories like that. But also in Pani Foundation, it was very much set up to do this. And I think it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever been part of, because it's in filmmaking we do work with a lot of people, and it's very collaborative as well. But here we've been working at the grassroots with people who are actually doing everything themselves. It's not like we are coming there and kind of just doing things for them, but it's kind of a very, very much a grassroots and sort of people's movement. And it's incredible because in that case, unlike in film, you can see change on the ground. You can actually measure the difference you're making, and the stories are just incredible. If you actually watch any of the videos on Pani Foundation's website, on our YouTube channel, it's quite unbelievable what people A can achieve, and B how much being part of these programs has in fact changed their realities, and that makes you feel incredibly humbled and like you feel like you've done something in life, So even more than Laapataa Ladies, I think Pani Foundation has really, I feel, been great to be part of for me, because I'm also a city girl, and you don't know what you can do in a city and how you can actually affect change. So yeah.
The question, Mega.
How do you approach building up the visuals for your films?
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, and I was just telling him that it kind of incrementally, when you think of a film like Laapataa Ladies, it was quite difficult for me because, again, I'm from a city. I've never even really lived in a village more than for a few days or weeks at a time, and yet I feel like I know the city experience. I know what women there must be going through. It's something that we've sort of subconsciously anyway have imbibed. But when you're creating that world, I wanted it to be realistic, but not particular, not specific. So that's why I kind of created this other fictitious state called Nirmal Pradesh, because in India, the second you kind of say it's exactly this state, it's Bihar or it's UP or it's Bengal, then you have to be very culturally specific. And I didn't want to be culturally that specific. So when we were visually building that world, we took a little bit from different places. We tried to, the language was sort of Middle India. It's a dialect called Bhojpuri, so we did a Bhojpuri version of Hindi. And so visually, when we were building it up, I had a production designer called Vikram, who is actually from UP and Central India. And then all of our images and visuals of, will it be a mud house, will it be, low roof, like what kind of paintings would be on the wall, what would be the structure of the house. All of that came a lot from a back and forth, a lot of recceing. We went to many, many villages to find the right place to shoot. So the visual world, I feel like it doesn't come on paper. It comes from image gathering, travel, discussion, colors. And I wanted it to be realistic, but not poverty porn, not like, oh, they're so poor and like everything's very sad and garib. Garib is poor in Hindi. So yeah, the idea was like, can we still, because India, even in its villages, especially actually the way it used to be, it's very beautiful. And how do you kind of represent that while keeping it realistic? It comes from a lot of, I think, working with costume, with my production designers. We had the opportunity to travel and find influences, visual influences. And after that, for certain scenes, of course, we would storyboard them and arrive at it. In fact, I was telling him, I think I want to do more storyboarding, because a lot of it I rely on instinct, and it's all good. It's not. I'm quite happy with what I got, but I realize now I struggle more on the edit table, to kind of put things together. But it also gives it a sense of sort of immediacy and kind of organicness, naturalness. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Was that okay?
Double thumbs up. Let's go. Okay, Nola, you got anything to add in?
Okay, something I just wanted to add. Like, I feel like you're a very free-spirited person, because you're deciding to come to a very, very, very modest place to record a podcast, random podcast on your final day in Bhutan, and also wanting to get a tattoo and searching for designs in a restaurant. So have you always been this way, open to new experiences in the world, or is it something you've gradually become?
No, I've always been this way, I think. I think I'm almost too free-spirited. I now have a son and I have a home, and I grew up, I left home when I was 18 and kind of lived on my own until I got married, which was at 30-something. So I'm kind of, I think I was also raised which is really great for me. I was raised by parents who, wanted me to, their only thing to me was like, look, be financially independent, be able to look after yourself, because then, then we don't care what it is that you choose to do, so long as it's not illegal. Do whatever, And I think that freedom came with its responsibility, and I learned very early, how to take care of myself. And that made me, also be free to have all the experiences that I've had in my life. And yeah, I've always been like this. And I think, and that's, I've been inordinately lucky also. I've had, wonderful people around me and met incredible people wherever I went. So yeah.
All right. Okay, ma'am, before we call this episode to close, we do this usual one segment which we do is we try to do a personality test, but it's a little bit local flavor. Okay, so do you like Lay's?
Chips?
Yeah.
As opposed to?
No, just like Lay's.
Just do I like Lay's?
Yeah. Would you eat it like if it was there?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
If it comes around,
all right.
for sure.
Okay, fine. So what is your favorite Lay's packet flavor? What color?
Oh, dude. I think Magic masala.
Ah, damn it again. It's always blue. It's always magic masala. For some reason, everyone picks magic masala.
Because it's the best flavor.
Yeah,
like, what do you want? The yellow?
Look at that.
I love yellow.
Don't talk shit.
I love yellow.
Oh my god.
A regular.
How vanilla are
Yes,
you,
yes,
bro?
I love it. Missionary, yellow, vanilla, everything. Okay, normal. No loves a light green. He loves sour cream.
Oh,
and-
sour cream and onion. I like sour cream and onion also. More than yellow for sure.
It's a quiet taste you grow to become.
But you know what I like the most, weirdly, is like, I don't know if you guys eat tapioca. Tapioca. I'm a chip-aholic. You have no idea. Anything crunchy and I'm on.
Okay.
But in India, we get all these like different kinds of fruit and vegetable chips, which are the
Okay.
best.
Tapioca chips. Wow.
Tapioca, banana, jackfruit, my favorites.
Oh, okay. But I think we
Not so much banana, jackfruit and tapioca. Best.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look into that once. Okay, with that being said, also imagine tomorrow you're dead. Okay.
Okay.
Imagine. So today is your death row meal. What are you having?
Okay, what am I having? I would have a very Bengali meal, honestly, though my mom and all would be sad, but I do think I would like 2-3 things. Okay, let's have, I'll have to explain everything to you.
Okay, let's go.
There's a kind of a round puri-like thing which is stuffed with peas, and
Okay.
it's called a kodai shuti kochuri. It's yum.
Okay.
I would have that. It's eaten normally with aloo dum, which
Aloo
is
dum, okay. We know aloo dum, yes.
aloo dum. It's like a gravy, potato gravy thing. I would have aloo dum, but I also love this this potato dish from my mom's side, which is called song.
Okay.
So maybe I'll have song because if it's the last day, I want a little bit of her side.
Okay.
And there's also something called ambat, which is sprouted. I mean, you can make it in many things, but I like the sprouted moong one. We have a Kirlail Muga ambat, which I love. And I would have prawn malai curry, which is like, shrimp and in a coconut-based
Ooh.
yummy gravy.
Yum yum. And what's the
Dessert?
beverage or dessert?
Beverage, honestly, I like beer a lot, so I'd have a good beer or maybe red wine if that was allowed to have 2. And then if I was allowed a dessert, I would have dessert. What do I have for dessert? Again, probably a Bengali dessert. Like I would probably have. Mishti dough is lovely, but it's a bit boring. I would probably have a, call it? A chom chom or what's it called? Kheer kadam.
Oh, I love kheer.
Kheer is not the same as kheer kadam. It's
okay.
like a rasgulla-like thing inside a thing.
Okay.
But I like kheer as well. Maybe I'll have some other kind of dessert. I love chocolate. So I would have maybe a really rich, dark chocolate cake slice. Done. Then I'm happy to go.
Okay, wow, that was very, very. I gotta look up a lot of these stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not cultured enough, but then I'll try to eat it if I ever end up in India.
Yeah, come to
Okay.
India, I'll give it to you.
For sure. Okay, ma'am, we come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Honestly, we cannot say it enough. We are very honored and privileged to have you, and also like even more so that I spent 2 days yapping with you.
Yeah, listen, I've had so much fun with you,
eating
yeah.
mushrooms, drinking beer, getting tattoos. Now here yapping in front of random people.
Yeah.
It's been truly amazing, and
It's been great.
I'll tell my grandchildren about this weekend.
They'll never forget.
They'll never forget it. Okay, all right. So thank you again so much, ma'am.
Thank you, guys.
So in the end, other than the hot water and the saffron tea that Jamyang made, we give an opportunity to promote anything you want to our audience. So for example, if you can come check me out here, follow me here, anything, please look into the camera and say.
Okay. Well, you can follow me on Instagram, Rowdiness.
Yeah, in the
You
description.
can follow Pani Foundation. Actually, we do very cool things.
Nice.
I would like that.
Okay.
And I have a film company, but like if you go to me, you'll see what I'm doing. So Kindling Pictures is my production company.
Yeah, and if you haven't already watched Laapataa Ladies on Netflix, so check it out, or just torrent it. Yeah, just pirate it. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Or just rent it from some guy. Thumb drive. No, it's
He's
okay.
putting a link in the.
I'll give you the thumb drive link in the description. Google Drive link.
Do
Text me.
not support
Text me.
piracy. Do not
text
listen to this guy.
Just kidding. Get a Netflix subscription. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Before we say goodbye, we gotta give a shout out again to the members. Again, look up, ma'am. They've appeared randomly
Thank
again.
you,
Wow.
thank you.
Okay. Thank
Yay.
you, our podheads, and
Yes.
also Podhead Pro Doti. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Okay. In the end, we do a clap to cut off everything. So when I say 3, 2, 1, help me just clap one time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Until the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And subscribe. Please subscribe.
I really enjoyed this. It was great.